Hello and welcome to Fondex Learn Copy Trading, a webinar for our traders. Welcome to you, whether you be a live trader or a demo trader. We're glad to have you with us, and I hope that you'll find this webinar informative, and I'll be asking you for any questions that you may have at the end of the webinar. So do please feel free to ask any questions, but I would ask you to save that until the end where we'll have a question and answer session. And hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you do have through the webinar. And welcome to those who do not have an account with Fondex, whether you found us through Google or through Facebook page. A very warm welcome to you all. My name is Paul, and I'll be happy to show you some of the many elements that we have on the Fondex platform. We have several ways in which our traders can access the Forex market, whether you be experienced or not so experienced. We have developed a range of tools that enable you to make the most of the opportunities that are available to you in the Forex market. Fondex offers you copy trading as well as automated trading through algorithmic trading, offers you signal so you can follow trading signals, and of course manual trading. But today's webinar is on the subject of copy trading. What is copy trading? It's a practice in which traders can copy strategies of other traders that belong to the same copy trading network. And what do we mean by this? We have trader in blue in the center, and we have, in this example, 4 traders who are following the central trader, so our copycats. You may have been told when you were at school that you shouldn't copy the work of your neighbor. Well, we enable you to be able to follow the trades of perhaps a more experienced trader, a trader who has more knowledge of the industry or has more specialist knowledge of the trading instruments that they have selected within their trading portfolio. It means that you can get ahead of the game by following someone else who has, as I say, perhaps a little more experience, a little bit more knowledge within that trading environment. And it's an excellent way also if you have time difficulties, if you don't have the time to be able to devote to developing a strategy or analyzing the market. You can simply follow a trader who perhaps has made it more their full-time focus, and therefore you're able to save time and at the same time maximize your time. So it's a system which I think is for everybody. There are many traders I know who use this exclusively as the way in which they focus on their trading, the way in which they access the Forex market. There are other traders who will use this as one of many trading strategies or ways in which they trade within the Forex market. So depending on your particular requirements, on your particular style, on your particular demands, you're able to adapt and adopt cCopy to fit with your particular requirements. Copy trading allows you to pick a tested trading strategy and copy it. So that means that your trades will be opened and closed automatically following the trades of the account that you choose to copy. So you're effectively giving control of trading to the central trader. Your dynamic focus, the bit where you're involved in the trade, is when you select the trader to follow. Once you've selected the trader to follow, it is them who are in control and them who are opening and closing the trades. So you no longer have a dynamic control of that. Simply they're passively watching the trades that are being activated by the trader that you're following. Your trading performance is tied, therefore, to the performance of the account that you're copying. If they're doing well, you're doing well. If they're doing bad, you're also doing bad. So do keep that in mind as well. For that reason, it is essential that you carefully select a strategy to copy and that you assess all the relevant performance data. So this is the element where you are dynamic control of this part of the trading system. You're the one who is selecting the strategy, perhaps the profit percentage. How much success, profit-wise, has this trade that you're considering to follow had in the time that it has been active? The maximum drawdown. So what's the maximum negative balance that this trading strategy has gone to over the time that it's been active? Profit and loss history. Now, with all trades, there is loss. It's impossible to have 100% success. There's no trader trading over a number of years or over any period of time that will not experience loss. So you must keep that in mind when looking for a trade to follow. It's not a case of finding one that's profitable, that's made no losses. It's about finding out what the ratio is between the profit and loss. So you can see both through the cCopy platform that Fondex provides to you. Everything is clear and everything is transparent for you to be able to see. And what are the advantages of copy trading? Well, we've already spoken about time sensitivity. If you don't have the time to sit down, to analyze, to work out the strategies that you want to put into effect, or if you're new to trading, maybe you want to learn by following a trader, which is an excellent way to be able to learn, to shadow a more experienced trader. You get fast access to trading information. You're able to see the trades of the trader that you're following, so you can start to build up a picture of what instruments they're choosing. And maybe then you can do some research into why those instruments are being chosen, or which instruments work well together. You can view trading data from active traders in real time. So everything is live on the cTrader platform. Everything is exactly as it's happening. So you're able then to follow trades with the effects of what's happening in the news, perhaps, which would be fundamental trading. You're able then to see the effects of what's happening to a certain currency because it's being traded by a trader in that exact moment. So you have access to see the strategy provider's open positions, which gives you a good idea of what's happening in the markets and what people are trading. You can actively trade while still learning. So again, as I say, it's an excellent choice for those who are new to trading, perhaps not traded for a while, then coming back to trading. You can learn the skills of a more experienced trader simply by following them and the trades that they choose to make. As a copy trader, you can actively trade even if your trading knowledge is not perfect. You may use your strategy provider's trading method as a base of what you'd like to deliver deeper into and improve your knowledge on that particular aspect of trading. You save time and effort. Market analysis and research can be time consuming. Copy trading saves you the time and effort that is required for conducting technical and fundamental analysis. So again, this is what we're saying about those who perhaps have got time sensitivity. They don't have the time to trade. Often I'll hear this from traders when I'm speaking to them. I'd say they don't have the time to trade. They want to trade, but there are other pressures in their life. Of course there are. That's understandable. But if you're able then to follow a trader who has more time, is able to focus, to put more of their time towards analyzing the markets, towards working out the technical actions that are taking place within the market, then you're already getting yourself ahead of other traders who aren't trading because they don't have the time. It can be part of a multi-method trading strategy. As I said earlier on, I know many traders who use it exclusively as the way in which they are accessing the trading market, or they can use it as part of the trading market. Fondex offers you many different ways in which you can access the Forex market, including automated trading, including strategies, signals that you can follow, and of course, manual trading, where you're doing everything yourself. So you can create a trading strategy that fits in with your requirements, whether it be one or all of those particular methods of accessing the Forex market. You can still combine manual trading with copying, or even use robots, which is the automated trading, to open trades for you in the same or different trading account. So because of the way in which we've created the Fondex platform, you're able to link that with your cTrader ID. And with your cTrader ID, you can have many accounts. So you can use one account for your copy trading, you can use one account for your manual trading, or for your automated trading. We really do try and make it as flexible and as user-friendly as we possibly can to make sure that you have all of the opportunity to trade. So how does copy trading work on Fondex cTrader? Trader who is a strategy provider shares their strategy on Fondex cTrader copy. Any trader who wants to copy may do so with the click of a single button. Once the copier chooses to copy, their trades are executed automatically, mirroring the strategy provider's account. So again, as I say, about developing a platform which is as easy to use as it's possible to be. Everything is there for you on this cTrader platform, on the Fondex platform. If I just bring one across for you to see, you can see that just simply by selecting copy, which is there for you, left menu bar, you can see the copy platform. Everything is point and click, all available for you on the one website. Now I'll come back to this screen and talk to you about more of that in a moment. If you're a trader who has established trading strategy and want to share it, which is the other part of the copy platform, not just about being able to follow traders, but if you believe you have a strategy which is successful and can bring in a profit for other traders, then you can become a strategy provider. So you can follow and you can provide strategies for others to follow. All you need to do is register a live account with Fondex. And in a little bit, I'll go through both elements of the copy platform, so you get a good understanding of the opportunities that are available to you. You log into Fondex cTrader, click copy, and follow the steps required to convert your account into a strategy provider. So by working with your support team at Fondex, we'll be able to guide you through every step of the way for you to be able to become a strategy provider. Once you follow the steps above, you can trade as normal. Your strategy's performance will be recorded and will be available for prospective copiers to evaluate. So how does copy trading work on Fondex cTrader? As a strategy provider, you can earn additional capital by charging your copiers 3 types of fees. We will cover this in detail later in our platform tutorial. As a copier, you'd have to find a strategy that suits your risk profile and overall goals and copy it. Copying is easy and can start just by clicking the Start Copying button. So this is a screenshot of the actual copy platform, and we'll go into some more detail on that in just a little while. Stopping the copying of a strategy or decreasing the amount of allocated funds is equally easy, and we will cover this in our tutorial as well. Again, it's simply a case of point and click. Everything is on the platform. Everything is clear. So benefits of copy trading on the Fondex cTrader. You can copy hundreds of top performing strategies across various asset classes, such as Forex, shares, indices, metals, energies. And this is an excellent point to just keep in mind. With the Fondex platform, you have access to thousands of instruments, not just the currencies, but as we say, the shares, indices. So, for example, the FTSE, the DAX, the Dow, whatever your areas of interest might be, whatever you want to trade, we have them available for you on the Fondex platform. And you get all the performance analysis tools you need to evaluate the performance of a strategy. You maintain complete control, being able to start and stop copying at any time. And you can flexibly increase or decrease the funds that are allocated to a specific strategy without stopping the copying of the strategy. So everything is live and everything can be tailored to how you wish it to be. So you can modulate your trading involvement, the amount that you're following the trade strategy provider as it's happening. So you're not losing out on any opportunities, but if you feel as though you want to allocate funds elsewhere, perhaps you want to take funds out of C copy and you want to put them on manual trade, so you see an opportunity within the market and you want to take dynamic control of your trading, then you can do that without stopping the C copy. So everything is available for you to change to your specific requirements at any point through your trading. And you can view the full history of your open and closed positions on your platform. Everything will be there for you to be able to see what you have live on the history of your trades. Then your position size is automatically adjusted based on our equity to ratio model. So there is an equity to ratio model which dictates the amount of investment that you're going to follow the strategy provider. Very simply, it's your equity, take away the strategy provider's equity, and then multiplied by the number of lots that the strategy provider is opening. So if your equity is equal to the equity of the strategy provider, you're following 100%. So they take one lot, you take one lot. But if your equity is half the strategy provider, then you would be following at a ratio of 50%. So every time they place a trade on one lot, you would be placing the trade on half a lot. Now, how do you choose a strategy to copy? This, as I said earlier, is the dynamic involvement that you have with C copy. This is where you're able to assess all of the strategy providers on the platform, and you're able then to see which one you think is the one to follow on a number of parameters. And you can evaluate strategies based on the return on investment, the ROI, which is the percentage of income the strategy has generated during the chosen period in relation to the account's initial balance. So the ROI could certainly be a good way for you to choose the strategy that you believe is successful, that you believe you want to invest in. Or the strategy age. Certainly age of a strategy is a good indicator. Obviously, a winning strategy has a longer time that it would have been live, that it would have been active. Obviously, a non-winning strategy would take much less time before it's either changed, updated, it's amended, the instruments are reduced, or different trading instruments are added, and therefore the strategy changes altogether from the original way in which the strategy was put together. So age could certainly be a good indicator of a successful strategy. Strategy popularity. You can choose to follow a number of other copiers who have selected a trade on perhaps the previous elements, and they've created a number of followers to that particular strategy. So perhaps you might think to yourself, the more followers a strategy has, the more successful that strategy has got to be. And profit percentage, so daily and weekly profit in percentage format. How much does this trading strategy make today, last week, last month? Again, perhaps that ties in with the age of the strategy, but it's about making sure that you're following a strategy which is successful today, rather than a strategy that was successful in the past. Again, you might think maybe that's an excellent way in which to choose a strategy that you want to follow. Or you can keep all of these in mind. And the average pips won by the trader. This can give you a good idea about the trading style. So are they a short-term trader, someone that trades within the day, an intraday trader, or are they a swing trader, someone who's maybe keeping trades open for a longer period of time, typically anywhere up to 6 days. So this can be all ways in which you're able to assess what you believe is an excellent trade for you to copy. You choose one, choose all of them. This is the dynamic element to the cCopy platform, the bit where you come into to force, where you're using your ability to assess which trade you think is a good one for you to follow. So you're using some of your analytic experience to assess on those points. You may find another way in which to assess the trades. We can talk about that when we go onto the platform and we see more of the elements involved. And the maximum drawdown, the strategy's biggest consecutive loss in percentage format. So over the history of that trade, what was the worst day that trade had? What was the worst loss that particular strategy had in the history of that strategy? And that you can assess maybe as your maximum risk. Perhaps you can say, well, the maximum drawdown for this strategy is, say they lost 100 euros, or $100 within that period of time, percentage-wise. They lost maybe 6% of their overall investment. So you can then say to yourself, right, well, what I'll do then is I'll set that as the maximum risk. And then you can go into, say, a stop loss that you can set for yourself. And we'll talk about that also when we look at the platform. So it gives you oversight, and it gives you full understanding as to the long-term risk involved to you. How much of your investment is potentially at risk to you. Now, of course, risk is not something that we cannot talk about. So we always make sure that you as the trader are aware of the risks to your investment. So maximum drawdown is this trade was unsuccessful some of the time. And as I said before, no trader is successful 100% of the time. It's simply part of the game that you're going to experience ups, you're going to experience downs, and there will be losses. So being aware of the maximum loss that that particular trade, that particular strategy had is very important for you to keep in mind. So all of these points are able for you to then build up a picture as to what you think is the best strategy for you to follow. And the profit factor, ratio of total net profit divided by total net loss. And as I say, there may be other ways in which you can select the trade that you want to follow. But when we go onto the platform, we can take a look at the individual elements of each strategy, and therefore you can see the ways in which you might be able to select the strategy that you want to follow. And besides the obvious choice of popular and high return on investment strategies, may also take into account your personal trading goals and risk tolerance. copy these auto trading on Fondex cTrader. So we can see here the similarities between copy trading and using an algorithmic trading strategy, the automated trading strategy. So positions can be open and closed without your intervention. As I say, once you've chosen the strategy, you're no longer in control of that. You're passive investor. You're following the central trader. If you think back to that slide, the blue trader in the center who's providing the trade strategy, and you're the copy trader. You're simply following that trade strategy. So you're no longer in control. They open a trade, you open a trade. They close a trade, you close a trade. And you can use them to trade even if you have no previous experience or knowledge. Again, your dynamic involvement with the trading strategy is simply by assessing which one you want to follow. So you don't have to know fundamental analysis, technical analysis. You don't have to be an expert in reading the charts or selecting which instruments to trade. You leave that to a more experienced trader. So if you don't have the knowledge or you don't have the confidence yet to choose your trading strategy based on your own knowledge, you give that over to a more experienced trader and let them be the ones who are using their knowledge to make you profitable. And you can still maintain control over it and exit, modify the trades according to your preference. So although you don't control opening and closing trades, you can control when you want to close your cCopy account, or if you want to reduce the amount of funds that you have in your cCopy account. Your control is there overall, but for the individual trade strategies that you're following, that's with the trade provider, but you have the control to exit and modify your cCopy account as you wish. And the differences between copy trading and automated trading. Now, automated trading is a fascinating subject, and with the automated trading platform that we have for you on Fondex, you'll be able to create trade algorithms. So you'll be able to take trade algorithms from the marketplace and be able to use those on your platform. And I believe in future seminars we'll go into that in more detail. But just for now, so that you're aware of the difference between copy trading and automated, positions can be open and closed without your intervention. So you're giving the control over to the trade strategy provider, whereas with automated trading, the algorithmic trade or robot is performing the trading tasks for you. So the trades are opening and closing dependent on the algorithmic trade strategy, the robot, the parameters that have been set algorithmically. You can access the full data on strategy's performance, so you'll be able to see on the cCopy platform all of the information on the strategy that you're choosing to follow. With automated trading, you can evaluate which particular cbots are doing well. So you can see reviews on the cbots that are available to you. What the cbots is what we call the algorithmic trading strategies. And you can see that the cbots performance or reviews from other investors who have used these cbots in the past. And when the strategy provider opens a new position, your account mirrors that, and the new position is open for you as well. So again, you're giving control over to the strategy provider. With automated trading, positions are open and closed when the set of specific parameters are met. So the programming of the algorithmic trading. So it's a robot that's doing the trading rather than the strategy provider. And you can flexibly allocate funds from one strategy to another without stopping the copying process. So with the cCopy platform, you can add funds, you can withdraw your funds without stopping the overall following of the strategy that you've selected. With automated trading, you cannot move funds from one robot to another However, you can stop using one of the cbots anytime you wish. So again, you have overall control of automated trading. But as I say, I'm sure in the future we will have another webinar covering the subject of automated trading. But just so you have an idea, because you have that available to you on the platform. If I bring across the platform again, you can see on the left menu, it's simply a case of selecting automate. I won't go into that. As I say, in the future we'll have another webinar that will cover that. But just so you understand on your Fondex platform why that is there and what the difference is between the two. We're focusing obviously on copy, where you have your manual trade, copy trade, and automated. Everything, as I say, just point and click. It's all available to you on the Fondex platform. But thank you very much for your attention in that element of our webinar. If you have any questions, I would invite you now, please, by all means, to ask any questions that you have simply by raising your hand. I can then see who it is that wishes to ask a question, or by typing your question, and then I can perhaps start to answer your questions as we move into the next part of the webinar, which is actually the walkthrough of the cCopy platform. So with cCopy, the idea is that the strategies are available to you at any time from the strategy providing community. As I said to you earlier, we have very many strategy providers providing their strategy from their Fondex platform. And the access to your community of traders is very straightforward. So we would go from our trading platform, we would select copy, and immediately we see on the main part of the platform the strategies that are available for us to review, select, and follow. And we can do that, as we've already said, by considering a number of factors of the strategy. Perhaps we want to think about how long the strategy has been on the community for. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, or all of them. Why don't we see who's been providing strategy for the last 6 months? So we can see here a list of strategy providers who have been providing strategies for at least the last 6 months. What we see here is a snapshot of the trade performance, strategy performance. That could be the way in which you decide which strategies you want to consider, which strategies you want to discount from your consideration. We can find some strategies that have a very nice upward trend throughout their time, or perhaps strategies that have some action within the development. Obviously, depending on when you follow a strategy, depends whether you're in the up part or the down part of that strategy's trend. Let's select this particular strategy. Now we can see that the all-time return on investment, 76.63%. Very nice. An excellent performance for this particular strategy. We can see the overall pips that this strategy has created for itself. Again, very nice. A good haul of pips for this particular strategy over its lifetime. Now we can see how many copiers. We can see at this very moment in time there are 2 investors who are following this particular strategy. So we can say, well, it's very nice return on investment. I like that. It's a very nice number of pips that this strategy has created, but perhaps I'd like to follow one that has more copiers. So we can simply scroll through the trades strategies that are available to us. We can find another one that we like the look of. We can see the return on investment, we can see the pips. We can also see the month by month return on this particular strategy. We can see the makeup of the portfolio. We can see which particular instruments this strategy provider has chosen to include within their strategy. We can see the overall performance, the net profit of this particular strategy, and we can alter the report to suit us over a longer period of time. It can show us from the beginning of the trade to the current day. So we can see all of the information that we then believe makes us feel as though this strategy is one that we would be interested in following. We can see the performance of each instrument. So we can see when they chose to buy GBP USD, for example, or when they chose to sell. And we can see the totals involved as well. So we can say to ourselves, yes, I think I like this particular strategy. I think what I'll do is I'll add this particular strategy to my favorites list. So if we find any strategy that we like from the ones that we review, we can simply star it. We can select ones that we think we are interested in following, and they'll immediately be added to the favorites tab. So you can then come back to your manual trading platform, and then when you come back to cCopy and you go to your favorites, the strategies that you've already researched, that you believe are the strategies that you want to follow because of the return that these strategies are generating, are there in your favorites tab. So we've decided that we like this particular strategy. We've researched the strategies that are available to us, and we like this particular strategy. So what we do now, we start copying. Again, point and click. Everything is made straightforward for you on the Fondex platform. Literally thousands of hours have gone into the development of a platform that is user-friendly, that is including everything that we believe you need as an investor to be successful. And everything is there for you simply as point and click. So it couldn't be easier to find the strategies, to then select the strategies, and then when you want to follow the strategies, you can see on this ticket window, the strategy there allows you to allocate the funds that you have available in your overall equity. So your overall equity in this case is 9,800. How much of that do you want to put to this particular cCopy trade strategy? Let's say 500. So you're choosing $500 of your overall 9,800. Then we tick start copying, and we can see it in our cCopy portfolio that the trade we've just selected is right there for us. And by clicking here, we can do several activities regarding this particular strategy. If you wanted to set a stop loss, I would recommend to all traders when trading, whether that be on cCopy or whether that be on your manual platform, that it is very worthwhile considering a stop loss, which is basically At what point do you want the trade to stop? At what point of loss do you want to stop following that particular trade strategy? And all we do is we set the equity stop loss. In the ticket here, we can see our overall of capital that we have invested in this particular strategy, and how much do we want to set as our stop loss. So let's say 400. If that comes down to 400, I want to pull the plug on this particular strategy. I don't want to lose any more than $100. You can have that set however you want. You can have that down to $50. If you want, you can have it set all of the way. So it's entirely up to you. Let's choose, say, where we go halfway, 250. So that's set. What do we want to do now? We want to say, what's the overall strategy? So we can open the strategy page simply by point and click, and we're back with the strategy provider. So we can see all of the elements of this particular strategy that we're actively following, or passively following, rather. Other elements that you might want to consider is when you're finished with the following of this particular strategy, you want to stop copying. Simply a case of point and click, stop copying. You want to stop copying now. We've stopped copying this particular strategy provider. And restarting couldn't be easier. We're following that particular strategy again. So as I say, the user-friendly nature of the Fondex platform means that everything is there for you. Simply a case of point and click. You can find and navigate your way through the entire platform. Other elements that you might want to consider when searching for your strategies. We can see the difference between live and demo. There are demo strategy providers as well. And we've color-coded the demo and the live strategy providers. Demo is blue. So you can see all of those that are providing strategies on a demo. So without live capital, without actual investing money to the strategy. And this could be part of your knowledge process, part of you understanding and getting for yourself familiar with the cCopy platform. Just like with manual trading, before you want to actually invest your capital in your own trading, you can use a demo account with Fondex. You can also use cCopy as a demo account, so you can navigate through these strategies without risking or feeling as though you're risking your own capital until you're ready to actually use the live strategies to follow. Return on investment, the ROI, we can search by those strategies that have higher returns on investment. So we can go up to 100%. Let's select all, and we can see which particular strategy has a ROI of 100%. So here we see the list, and we can navigate between the two lists that we have. We've got 2 pages. Here you can see we have a maximum of 23. So there are 23 strategies that meet these particular criteria. And from those strategies, again, we can select on a number of criteria, a number of factors that we believe suggest to us make this particular strategy one of those that we want to follow. And as I say, we've got the favorites tab, so everything is there saved for us from those strategies that we picked out earlier on. So this is a strategy description. So the particular strategy provider who has put this strategy together has written some points of interest. Now, that brings us to the next point, which is the other side of the cCopy platform, which is the strategy provider, where you're providing a strategy. The simple way for you to do this is to select your account, and you want to become a strategy provider. Strategy settings. And we said before in the earlier part of the webinar that there are 3 ways in which you as a strategy provider can set the income that you want to generate. Now you can set that by a volume fee, and the amount that you will charge your strategy followers depending on the volume. So we can set that to $10 per million. Now we remember that one lot is 100,000 approximately, so 1 million would be 10 lots. So we're charging a strategy follower for the strategy that we create $10 per million or $1 per lot. We can charge, if we want, performance fee. And the performance fee is on a high water mark. Now the important thing to keep in mind with any investment that you're following is that the investment provider, the strategy provider, is incentivized on results. And one of the best ways in which to do that is if there is a high watermark. And what that means is that the investment provider will only get paid on hitting above their previous best result. So every time they get a high, say 1 month they are 50, and the next month they are 60. So the high water mark goes from 50 to 60. Now the following month they're at 50. So they've gone down. They're 10 below the high water mark. If the following month after that they're 65, they're above the previous high water mark of 60. So above by 5. So this is a way in which to actively incentivize the strategy provider, but also as a strategy provider, if you're providing a performance fee and charging a performance fee that's based on the high watermark, you're saying to any potential follower that you're so sure of the success of your strategy that you're prepared to each month make a higher return than the previous month. So this is an excellent way to show any potential strategy follower that you as the strategy provider actually mean business, that you know what you're talking about, that your strategy is going to be of interest to a strategy follower. And the management fee. So the management fee is what you're charging for those who are following you. So you can choose one or all of these factors when you're providing a strategy to follow. You can choose simply to charge a management fee or simply to charge a performance fee, or a volume fee, or you can charge zero. You can provide your strategy for free. It's entirely up to you as the strategy provider. So if we want to set some of those as the parameter, who do we want to be able to follow the strategies that we provide? Everyone. And then we can provide the strategy by doing it this way. We can restart our strategy, and we've provided the strategy with those parameters for any follower. So if we're thinking about the strategies, we're going back to selecting strategies. We can see here the management fee, the performance fee, and the volume fee. So these we can set as a strategy provider, and these we can consider as a strategy follower. So these are the overall elements of the cCopy platform. I think I've given you a lot of information there for you to take on board. I very much hope that your questions have been answered, but if you do have questions, then I would invite you to ask your questions regarding the webinar, regarding cCopy, anything you have that comes to your mind in terms of what points of consideration for the strategy, what types of trading strategy. So if there are any questions that you have or that come to your mind, you can contact us through your platform. You can contact us online through the Fondex website. We have live chat available to you, where our support team will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. All information will be available on our website. I would like to thank you all very much for your time and attention, and I wish you all a very profitable and enjoyable time trading with Fondex, and I look forward to seeing your success in the years to come, and speaking with you, I hope, on an individual basis, and in future seminars that we have.